Hey, my name is Arjan and I am so excited for this video, but I need to explain a couple of things first. About 6 years ago was when I first got into Dungeons and Dragons, and obviously my ADHD brain went into hyperfocus immediately. I dove down deep into Reddit threads, I watched all of the content I could get my hands on, and I basically spent all of my free time knees deep in D&D. Something that was tremendously helpful for me was shows like Critical Role and Dimension 20. I know I'm very original. Seeing these groups of people play with actual miniatures and terrain pieces on a board was incredibly inspiring to me. However, I was playing mostly online, so I didn't really get into miniatures directly. That is, until I saw this clip. There are some minor spoilers for Critical Role Season 1, I guess. If you don't want to see them, skip ahead to this timestamp.
This is fine. Yeah.
There's that,
Oh my God!
a few added.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What the fuck is that?
I'm not okay with this. And
Take a picture and send it to you.
Make sure you get his good side.
Oh man, he looks so cool.
oh,
Holy
you even got the
Where
hand reform.
did you do this, Matthew? You made this, didn't you? You
Well,
painted this?
I had friends help me
Did
because
you?
I've been planning a wedding.
Somebody converted this miniature. Somebody made this. Maybe I'm stupid, but I never gave it any thought that there are people out there that create these kind of miniatures. After some internet sleuthing, I found out that this specific conversion was made by The Blind Man. His real name is Shane, and I also found out that he makes some of the miniatures for Dimension 20. Checking out Shane's work opened up a whole new world for me that I had never thought of before. Obviously, I had heard about mini painting, but miniature sculpting was completely new to me, and I knew I had to try it for myself. The following years, I kept improving my miniature sculpting. I also got into contact with Shane and other miniature sculptors through Instagram and this YouTube channel that I started. And this is where it gets exciting. A couple of months ago, Shane was talking about his personal project, the Tales from Apocrypha podcast. This is a horror podcast where Shane releases miniatures alongside each of the seasons of the show. And he asked me if I wanted to sculpt a few miniatures for upcoming seasons. Yes, of course I want to sculpt. Yes. One of the characters Shane asked me to sculpt is the Jackalope, a character that appeared in the first season, a powerful, mysterious creature with a jackalope skull on his head. Check out episode 2 of season 1 called Bloodbath to hear the story. I think this one has to be my favorite. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of the sculpting process because I was so focused on the sculpting itself, but here is some footage of the end result. I did get some footage of the other two sculpts that I made for Shane. These two minis are wax men. Basically, they are skeletons that have been coated by dripping candle wax. I can't tell you much more because this story is yet to be released. But at least you can see how much effort I've put into these sculpts. Looking back at this footage is actually kind of a weird experience. When I was sculpting these minis, I was so close with my face that I didn't realize how tiny these minis actually are. But looking at me and the miniatures together in one shot is very strange. Anyway, Shane started a GameFound campaign for the upcoming season of Tales from Apocrypha. There will be several of his own sculpts. I think one or maybe more sculpts by Gardens of Hecate, who makes amazing sculpts as well, and the jackalope that I sculpted. The Waxmen will be for an upcoming season, so you can keep an eye out for those in the future. These sculpts are scanned and produced with COcast technology, which is super exciting as well. I can't wait to see my own sculpts reproduced professionally. I think it's truly wonderful that Shane was one of the reasons I started sculpting in the first place, and now a couple of years later I actually made some miniatures for his project. So please support Shane's Tales from Apocrypha Game Found campaign with the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.